Muy buenos días, bienvenidos a la conferencia de prensa con Gints Zilbalodis por la presentación de Flow en el Zócalo de la Ciudad de México. Gints es el único viaje que ha realizado después de la ceremonia de los premios Oscar. Y para moderar esta conferencia de prensa está Gonzalo Lira.
Ya sé que no aplauden, diría alguien. ¿Cómo están? Qué gusto verles. Muchas caras conocidas. Well, Gins, thank you for being here. ¿Tenemos traducción simultánea o quieres que yo creo que yo voy ayudando? Okay, so I'll be translating, Gins, so give me like small phrases so I can do it simultaneously. Vamos a empezar platicando y vamos a empezar a oír después las preguntas para que ustedes puedan participar, así que pues váyanlas preparando. But first of all, congratulations on all the awards and all the hype that the movie has been having for all these months. Almost a year since we saw it in Mexico, in the Guadalajara Film Festival. Ya es casi un año de que la pudimos ver en el Festival de Guadalajara. La película pues sigue en la cartelera, which is something amazing to see it still on the cinemas. I want to ask you, because I guess you didn't expect it, like the big success that this was. You don't make movies expecting them to be this kind of phenomenon. No hacemos películas buscando que sean este tipo de fenómeno. But was there something on this movie that you knew or that you suspect that was going to connect with bigger audiences regarding like your past efforts? ¿Había algo que él sintiera que iba a conectar con un público más amplio, tomando en cuenta sobre todo los esfuerzos anteriores?
Yeah, so this is a much bigger film than my previous films, but still it's a very small film. So we hoped that it would be bigger than my first film, Away. But yeah, like independent animation only recently has started to find like such a big audience. So yeah, we did not expect this. I thought it would like go to festivals, but it's actually like being, especially in Mexico, like a big like blockbuster basically. So now I hope it's not the last time. I hope it's like the beginning of this wave that more independent animation can like compete with the big studios.
Dice que no era una película tan grande como sus películas anteriores. Away, que fue su película anterior, pues no tenía este tamaño, pero igual Flow es una película pequeña, que él esperaba que le fuera bien en festivales, pero no esperaba que fuera, él mismo se refiere a la película, un blockbuster. What did you know, what do you think that, like, since it's been traveling all over the world, and I think that we as humans tend to humanize animal behavior. Los humanos tendemos a humanizar el comportamiento animal. So what was that fine line that you drew when developing these characters to be respectful of that animal behavior, but still knowing that humans were going to be searching for meaning in what's happening on the screen. ¿Cuál es la línea entre respetar el comportamiento animal y de alguna forma también pensar que el público pues tenía que entender e interpretar las acciones de la película?
There wasn't any like rules we set out. It was very instinctual. We wanted to have them behave like animals as much as possible, but also we're telling a story and telling like a personal story. And in some cases, we needed to push them a little bit away from reality and have them make big decisions. But yeah, I think because they are animals, that makes us relate to them more, not less. If they would speak and they would walk on two legs, it would not be as emotional and we would not get as attached. So I think there's an innocence to the animals that we really care about, and it also gives us a fresh perspective on everything, kind of seeing it through the innocence of these animal characters.
No quería ponerse muchas reglas. ¿Está bien que les vaya traduciendo? Ok. No quería ponerse muchas reglas, realmente. Quería respetar ese comportamiento animal y que los animales fueran animales en la pantalla de alguna forma, porque hay cierta inocencia en ellos y él cree que de alguna forma eso le daba frescura. Before we start opening questions for the audience, I think that many people has interpreted Flow as a film about coming together for like the general positive outcome of a difficult situation. So, was there any interpretation that surprised you when you were traveling with the film all over the world? ¿Había alguna otra interpretación más allá de pues, personajes que vienen de diferentes lugares para buscar un bien común? Did you find someone that was like so blown away that, or so far from this kind of interpretation?
No, generally, like people around the world have had very similar interpretations. There hasn't been like a different reading in different cultures, which is great that it works for everyone. But there are some specific people, I don't know, they really read very deeply into the film about things I had not really thought about. Just trying to like, they thought it's specific references to like events or history or like cultures or religions which I had not really thought about. To me, it's a lot more. I don't really articulate these things. I don't think about these meanings while making the film, and then when it's finished and I'm doing interviews, then I have to analyze it myself and try to figure out what it all means. But to me, when I'm making it, it's more about the emotion, the atmosphere, and I'm not really thinking about like a deeper meaning. But yeah, even like some people from our crew, like our producer Ron, would think it's about like some like different layers of like spirituality I had not thought about. But I never kind of say no, it's not about this. I always let people to interpret it their own way, and but yeah, to me it's really it's not about meaning. It's more about emotion.
Dice que es una película que más allá de buscar un significado, es una película que busca emociones, que la mayoría de la gente encuentra ese significado del que hablábamos al principio, y que cuando ha habido otros, normalmente vienen como desde lo espiritual, desde lo religioso, incluso su propio equipo de producción encontraba los significados que nunca los niega, pero que él realmente estaba buscando la emoción. Vamos a empezar a abrir las preguntas al público.
Hi, thank you so much. Welcome to Mexico. Well, one of the concerns that you have mentioned was climate change. I don't know if you can tell us a little bit about that, especially for children, because it's going to be probably more difficult for them than it's been already for us. And also about capybaras. They are really popular in Mexico among children. I don't know if it's the same in your country. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't really set out to make a message also regarding climate change, but it kind of evolved naturally through the story because it's a story about a cat afraid of water, and to make it as scary as possible, we made it this big flood. But we don't really, I don't know an answer how to solve these problems, and in the story as well, we don't really give easy answers. Sometimes you have like an ending where everything is fixed and solved and you don't have to worry about things anymore. But we wanted to show that not everything can have an easy solution, and I think that's more close to real life. But I think this cat wouldn't make it on its own, but through this collaboration, they're able to make it through. But yeah, it's what was that other question? Yeah, capybaras. And the capybaras, I think they're very popular everywhere. I think like this, they're the third most popular animal now after cats and dogs. Um, and they're just like it feels like just the world is very unpredictable and scary, and people want to be like the capybaras to find that peace. So I think that's very aspirational um, and yeah, I don't know. It's just in Latvia as well. They are popular, but we don't have them really in Latvia. So um, yeah, that's my probably my favorite character is the capybara.
Bueno, lo que preguntan por allá, a grandes rasgos, hablaba, no buscaba respuestas sobre temas de el cambio climático, se le preguntó sobre ese tema, que realmente lo que buscaba era poner a un gato en una situación que lo rebasara y que esta gran inundación pues representaba esa dificultad y pues ponerlo a colaborar con estos otros animales lo llevaba a entender que un gato que normalmente estaría asustado pues tendría más valor para salir adelante. Y sobre los capibaras, pues sí, que son muy populares también por allá, por Letonia, aunque no los tienen. ¿Otra pregunta?
Welcome to Mexico. I'm Jose Juan de Avila from Milenio. Congratulations. I've heard that you will become sir in Latvia, and congratulations. And after all your success with Flow, what means at this moment to be an independent filmmaker, and will you keep on being independent filmmaker in the future?
Yeah, my next film is also like we're doing it in a similar way in our studio in Latvia, and this gives us creative freedom. And now it's really hard to tell like personal stories. I think in the bigger studios, everything is a sequel or a remake, and I really want to do something different, also different from Flow. I don't want to do the same film over and over. So yeah, I think I still have opportunities maybe to work in like maybe the Hollywood system or whatever, but I prefer to work independently and to yeah, just then I can control things and and it's also nice to work with a small team that you know everyone. It's not like a big hierarchy. Like it's a very small team and we're all friends and everyone can have input. They can suggest things, and I think it's very exciting that like an independent film made in Latvia can have this huge reaction so far here in Mexico, and it can kind of unite people. So that's the beauty of animation, especially that it can kind of transcend like cultural boundaries, and so that's what I keep doing.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Cesar. First of all, I want to congratulate you for the huge success that this movie meant for your country, obviously. And I have one question for you. Winning the Academy Award and the Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature, it's a huge achievement, huge. How do you expect this kind of success to inspire these new future filmmakers?
I think it not only inspires filmmakers, but it gives the incentive for financiers and producers and studios to make projects like this. So I think there will be more opportunities. I've already heard from like other independent filmmakers who told me that now a lot of people want to meet them and support their projects, which might not have had the chance previously. But it's not just Flow. I think this is a growing movement. It started already a while ago, but it just reached this critical, yeah, turning point. And yeah, so also we can make these films cheaper now and in smaller teams, and I didn't really like study this. I didn't go to film school, so you don't really need to. There are less gatekeepers. You can do these things, and they can also. I think animation can, as I said, it's not as linked to one specific culture, so it can work more globally than maybe live action. So there's a lot of potential, and I think there's going to be more and more of these films because just people want to see different types of films. We're getting bored of seeing the same franchises. So although there's room for both, it's not going to like change everything, but it shows that there people want a variety of films.
Bueno, se le preguntó sobre si eh, quiere mantenerse independiente y si eso iba a cambiar a partir de premios como el Globo de Oro y el premio de la Academia, y él dice que quiere mantenerse independiente, que también se le preguntó si quería inspirar a otros cineastas, y dice que más que inspirar a otros cineastas, él lo que quiere es inspirar a que los productores independientes o productores más grandes de alguna forma se animen a financiar y apoyar este tipo de proyectos que cada vez son más y más importantes.
Hi, Gints. How are you? First of all, I have to thank you because I win a bet for Flow. Yeah, I win a great dinner. So you're invited if you want to come, and if you don't if you are not doing nothing in the afternoon, that's first. Then, when I saw Flow, it was beautiful, but I noticed that it's universal. I think this is more cinema than cinema because it speaks with the language of feelings, and this make me wonder about what to think. If flow can be used like a speech in between different countries, different languages, what did you live in there? What part of you live in flow?
Um, so I think cinema can express things that I at least can't articulate otherwise. That's why I make films to kind of express these feelings. I had to kind of learn how to speak, how to explain things to the team because before I was just working on my own, but now I had to figure this out. And but there's still some things I can't express with words, and you can only express in cinema, and it's like another language, and it doesn't need to be translated. We can all understand it, and I think that's quite beautiful. And but so and it doesn't even need to be explained. Like if you watch the film, I think that's enough. You don't need like I like art that doesn't really need like an instruction manual that you can like watch and understand. You don't need any context. You don't need to know the background of all these things. So I like when it speaks for itself, and so but yeah, for me it is a personal story. It is about my experience of making the film itself. So it was my way of kind of going through these feelings and forcing me to learn how to collaborate, which I had not really done before. By making a story about it, I had no excuse but to do it.
Bueno, primero le dijeron que ganaron una apuesta gracias a la película. Creo que muchos ganamos muchas quinielas gracias a Flow. Many of us won on the Oscar ballot thanks to you and your movie. Y se le preguntó qué dejó de él en esta película que aboga mucho por los sentimientos. Y él dice que de alguna forma él es una persona que le cuesta trabajo expresarse y hablar y explicar. Él cree que el arte no necesita un manual, pero que es un reflejo de las dificultades que él pasa haciendo una película con más personas porque a veces no tiene la fluidez para explicarle a los demás cómo y qué quiere. I wanted to add something about that before the next question, because you did the music for the movie also. How much of that musical side of your creative being also helped you, to translate your feelings and your emotions and your thoughts into what's on the screen?
Yeah,
Él también hizo la música.
it's very important to me. Usually, music is done quite late in filmmaking process, but almost start with the music and then build the story around it, because yeah, it's such a big part of the experience. Sometimes when I used to work before on my first shorts, and I work without music, and then we add the music, and it makes a completely different film. So I wanted to avoid that, and I write a lot of music that doesn't end up in the film. So I create a lot of material and only use the best bits that work. And, uh, and yeah, so I didn't really study music. I write it electronically. It's very simple and minimalistic. But I think that's the music I like the most, which is very kind of simple. And I think simplicity can be a lot more stronger than like if you can express something with less words, it can be more powerful as well. So, and that there's a crucial scene in Flow with the cat and the bird, and it's quite emotional. But I couldn't explain what it meant, but I could show the music to the team, and I think it's explained it a lot better than I ever could with words. And so, but it's also my favorite part of the process. It's so fast compared to animation. You can make a piece of music in an hour or two, and it's like has such a huge impact. And I enjoy making music just for fun, even not if not for working. When I'm tired, I can make music, and it's very relaxing. And I'm already working on music on my next film, so again guiding what the film will be, and yeah, but it's also collaborative. So I do these initial themes, and then another composer, Richard Zaljopa, also from Latvia, he would take these and really polish them and add more layers to it. So I like being very hands-on and do things my own way, but also I like collaborating and working with people who are much smarter than me and better. And I think it's the best of both worlds.
How many hours of music did you compose originally for Flow?
For Flow, it was more than 8 hours, and I think that in the score we have about 50 minutes. So yeah, there's a lot of outtakes. Maybe I can use them in other projects later, but yeah, it's a lot of variations. I'm not like it's not everything is not original, but I'm just trying this piece in a fast way, in a slow way, and just finding happy accidents that I had not planned, but I kind of accidentally stumble upon. And I think it makes not just music, but everything is done this way, where there isn't like a very tight plan. There's I think you can do that in more smaller productions. You can be this flexible and try crazy ideas and not be judged by those. And so everything is more yeah, we can take bigger risks.
Bueno, antes de la siguiente nada más la voy a traducir. Sobre la importancia de la música que de alguna forma le ayudaba a explicar mejor a los animadores cómo, qué es lo que estaba buscando. En vez de darles palabras, les ponía la música y eso los llevaba a entender más las emociones que quería transmitir a grandes rasgos, que terminó haciendo hasta 8 horas de música cuando realmente solo utilizó 50.
Hello, James. I'm Lalo. I'm with Filmelier. Congratulations on your film. Success. And well, I watched it 3 times, and I can't wait to get my hands on the Criterion edition. Um, I'm also with Filmelier Plus. I don't know if you know, we are the distributors of your film on VOD. It's available here in Mexico and various countries in Latin America and on Brazil. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think of the power that streaming has for your film to reach an even broader audience? We know it's been a huge success here in Mexico. It's been also a great success there on Brazil. What would you like to say to people that haven't watched it and could now watch it on Familia Plus or other streaming platforms?
Yeah, I would prefer people to watch it in cinemas, but I think we got so lucky that we got both. I think ideally you would start with the big theatrical release, and I think Flow wouldn't have been what it is had it been just went straight to streaming. So, but once it has this momentum in cinemas, I'm very happy that it's also people have the ability to watch it. Also, maybe in places where they might not have this opportunity, uh, and uh, and yeah, so I'm just I don't know. I just hope people give it a chance. And but oh, the good thing about streaming is that you can watch it with your pets, which might be more difficult in cinema. So I've seen so many great videos of cats and dogs watching it. So I would encourage people to watch it with their pets.
Thank you.
Sobre ver la película en streaming, dice que recomienda más verla en pantalla grande, pero lo bueno del streaming es que la gente la puede ver con sus mascotas.
Here, Gints. Hello, how are you? Congratulations for your Oscar and all your wins. So, tell me, please, what does it mean for you to have your beautiful movie Flow projected in the Zócalo here in Mexico City? I think we need to talk about that. It's a huge plus. I think it's a biggest one that Flow must be projected, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I've been traveling and promoting this film for a year since we premiered in Cannes last year. So after the Oscars, I actually decided to stop doing this and get some rest and actually work on my next project. So I was pretty exhausted. But when this opportunity came, of course, I couldn't say no. And so this is the special, and I decided to come. And it's crazy. I don't know. It's amazing that like it's reached this audience, and and especially in Mexico, we had the most amazing like response of anywhere in the world, and I hope it can kind of give some happiness or find some peace by watching this film. And but it's crazy that like such a small film can be here, and I hope this continues and can kind of create some cultural exchanges and kind of like maybe many people hadn't heard about Latvia before. So I think it's really cool that like cinema and art can kind of bring people together, and I can learn about Mexico and you can learn about Latvia, and I think it's really cool.
Sobre la proyección en el Zócalo, bueno, que es algo muy grande y que de alguna forma le gusta que el arte pueda juntar a las personas y ponernos en la misma sintonía, básicamente. Por allá tenemos otra pregunta.
Hi, Gints Belén Eligio from El Sol de Mexico. I have two questions. The first, I read that the movie increased adoptions from black cats, that historically black cats had a negative image. So as a filmmaker, what does it mean to you that through your film, you're changing the perspective that the people had about black cats? And also, if you could talk to us a little bit about your upcoming movie, what's it about? What details can you tell us? Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's great that it's bringing some positive change to cats, and I don't know, it's just again, it's not something you can plan, and we had so many amazing, unexpected things happening, and so yeah, this is amazing. My next film, yeah, it's an animated feature. It's the first time I've done some dialogues, which is a new challenge for me. I've been writing the script now. I've been working on it while traveling with Flow, so it's actually pretty far along. But yeah, there's we're hoping to finish it more quickly than Flow. I've learned a lot of things. Flow took 5 years. I think we can make this next one in 3 years. We're making it in Latvia, and so but yeah, it's what I can tell about it is that yeah, the main characters are humans. There are some animals. There's it's a personal story to me. It's technically quite unique. The technique we're using is never been done in animation. I can't really reveal it yet, but it's very ambitious and complicated, and will make it very immersive, and like yeah. But it's what I can tell a little is like this scene in Flow with the cat and the bird ascending up into the. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but there's a crucial scene in Flow towards the end, and thematically, it's very. I'm taking this idea and expanding on it. So the next film is pretty much all about what that scene is about.
Habla un poco sobre su próxima película que tiene protagonistas humanos, algunos personajes que también son animales, y que es la primera vez que va a hacer diálogos, que está siendo un reto para él, pero que tiene mucho que ver con aquella escena crucial de Flow, que tiene que ver con un personaje que se eleva, para quienes no la han visto. Por allá.
Hola, es para traducir. ¿Qué emociones o ideas consideraste imposibles reflejarlo a través de palabras que quizá ahorita se están complementando con tu próxima película, que están ahí presentes en Flow? Y justo con la creación de esta película, además de lo que ya nos comentaste de esta nueva, ¿qué perspectivas sobre la narrativa fílmica van a posibilitar que hagas pues, cine de esta forma o de animación?
That's a tough one. Regarding la primera parte, ¿me la recuerdas, perdón? Te escucho. Oh. What ideas and emotions you are gonna put on your next film that maybe you were not able to put into words or maybe into this film? And la segunda? How do you think that the film narrative or the film language is going to change since this new movie that you're preparing? Do you think that animation is going to be like even more important now, or we're going to be watching more animated movies?
Yeah, I think I can actually reveal the title of the film because it was revealed. It's called Limbo, my next film, and it's I'm happy that I wrote it before all the attention that Flow received. So it's not really. I think if I start now, there would be a lot more pressure to follow up the success, and it would be hard to do anything. I think I would be overwhelmed. But I wrote it before all that happened, so it is a film I would like to make, regardless of the success or not. Um, but in terms of the themes, it is about kind of characters being overwhelmed. So in a way, it kind of ended up arriving to that space naturally. So some of these feelings I've been experienced of making difficult decisions and kind of being kind of world kind of falling apart in some ways for me, or having to adapt to a new world, which is similar to Flow but in a different way. It's about characters being stuck in the middle, basically, and not knowing whether to go backwards or forwards, and they have to decide whether to fix the problems they have back home or to go out into the unknown, into trying something new that's not being proven, and that's the central argument whether to fix things or to abandon them and do something new. So, and I don't really know the answer, and it's not really saying that one thing is wrong and the other is right. I'm trying to show that both can be wrong and right. That's the themes, but the technique is, it's, well, what can I say is that, in Flow we had some very long shots, which go on for 5 minutes. And then the next one will be pushing that a lot further. So there will be very, very long shots, which is very complicated.
Dice que ya se había revelado el título de su próxima película, que es Limbo, y que trata sobre personajes que están atorados en un punto medio, tienen que tomar la decisión si lanzarse a lo desconocido o resolver los problemas que dejaron en el pasado, y que de alguna forma, así como Flow tenía escenas muy extensas, está buscando llevar eso más lejos y que sean aún más largas. Tenemos otra pregunta por allá.
Hola, Luis de Toris de Spoiler Time. Hello, Jim. The question is, given the fact that you are screening your movie in the Zócalo, right here in Mexico City, non-Pixar movies or Disney movies has been screened on that way. So you have been a huge success. What were the challenges that you have to overcome due to that, to defeat all these kind of cliches that we got already right now on animations and being this huge success?
The challenges in terms of like finding an audience is that we didn't really have like the budget for marketing. So some of these bigger films have billboards everywhere and you have like millions and millions of dollars just to promote it, but we didn't have this. And I think that's part of the appeal, that we're kind of this underdog in some ways, or that people want to support like independent stuff, and also like in the industry, like I think animators are excited that this will open up doors to make films, more personal stories, to like experiment with the technique, and also like make films in places where maybe there isn't like a big industry. So that's been part of the appeal of this film. And but yeah, we got, it was very, I don't know, we were at the right place at the right time, and I think the themes resonate with people at this moment, and also um, I don't know, it just sometimes like it's beneficial to be like the underdog, and it's uh, 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 um, and that's also what the film is about. So I think it kind of, the story behind the film is kind of part of the narrative that appealed to the people.
Bueno, sobre los retos de hacer una película que tiene que competir con grandes animaciones como las de Disney o las de Pixar. Dice que el dinero para hacer promoción era uno de los más grandes, pero que espera que de alguna forma eso también haga que pues el cine animado independiente tenga más visibilidad en resumen.
Hi, Gints, Victor from El País, Mexico here. I was wondering, Mexico has a great advocate for animation movies, which is Guillermo del Toro, who is a big inspiration for young animation, or now they're also inspired by you. What will you tell to these young animation guys that are starting their careers to encourage them, thinking that being in this media can be kind of difficult for a non-American filmmaker like yourself?
Yeah, well, I would just encourage people to make films, and like my first films are they're not great, but you have to like make many films until you have to like go through these experiences and fail a bunch of times, and it takes a long time. It's not that I came out of nowhere and Flow just came into existence. It took a long time, and it requires perseverance. But it's a really cool job, I think. It's like sometimes people think that animation is very boring and repetitive and takes patience, but it's actually very exciting. And every day I'm doing something very different, doing like animation or music and sound and art. So it encompasses every type of art form. So that's really cool. But it just, I think it's best not to try to copy what other people are doing. You can be inspired and learn from them, but I think by being unique, by that helps you to stand out. And I think in case of Flow, that it is so different from maybe some bigger films. That's part of the appeal, and just trying to find what makes you unique. It, just opening yourself up and sharing personal experiences which maybe you don't want really to share. I think that's how people connect to films, that you can sense that there is some authenticity and it's not just some fake manufactured emotion, but there's something real about it. And even if it's not technically perfect, I think if there's strong ideas and emotions underneath, I think those can make people forget if it's not like the most expensive thing out there.
¿Sobre qué le diría a los nuevos cineastas que se quieren animar a la animación? Dice que hacer muchas películas, que él mismo considera que sus películas anteriores no son tan buenas, pero que se mantuvo trabajando y haciendo más cosas para, pues, cada vez ser mejor, y que sobre todo el consejo es que se mantengan fieles a sí mismos y que no sientan como esas presiones externas. This is our last question, Gints. So, over there.
Hi, my name is Kenya from Cartoons on the Moon. It's such a pleasure meeting you. I was wondering if you will consider to take something from here, from your visit to Mexico, to take something with you as an inspiration for future projects.
I don't know. arrived recently. I've been exploring the city, which has been very inspiring. But yeah, probably everything kind of finds. It's hard to say right now, but yeah, it's very likely that this is, especially the upcoming screening, will be very impactful. So I'll probably remember that. But yeah, you can ask me this when my next film is finished, if there was something that influenced it from Mexico.
Bueno, ¿qué se llevaría de México que le inspire otras cosas? Dice que seguramente será muy impactante la proyección del rato. Van a ir, ¿no? They're gonna be there. Y pues bueno, que espero